we are going to go over our lesson 4 practice problems over finding slope and writing equations of lines given the graph. So let's go ahead and jump in here. All right, so this top section, we're just finding the slope of the line. So like we talked about, we're going to pick 2 points, start from the one furthest to the left, and we do our rise over run. So we're going to be going up 1, 2, 3, 4, up 4, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 4 over 6. So that means our slope is 4 over 6. And then of course, if it can be reduced, we need to do that. And the fraction 4 over 6 can be reduced to 2/3. So 2/3 would be your slope. All right, number 2, same thing. If we pick these points here, let's start with the one furthest to the left. Now on this one, we're going to go down to get to our other point. So we go down 1, 2, 3. So because we go down, we're going to do -3 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. So -3 over 4 would be our slope, and that doesn't reduce, so that's final answer there. Number 3, let's go ahead and do the same thing. We'll just go ahead and pick the 2 points that they kind of highlight for us. And let's start with the one furthest to the left. Again, we're going to go down on this one. So down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So down 6, which will be -6, and over 1, 2, 3. So -6 over 3, and that one can be reduced. So -6 divided by 3 would just be -2. You could say -2 over 1, but then that will just simplify to -2. All right, that takes us to number 4. And we know if it's straight up and down, this is a vertical line and it has a slope of undefined. And we talked about in the notes why that is, but for now going forward, you just have to kind of memorize that straight up and down means it's going to be undefined. So I'll just put U in D. All right, number 5, let's pick our 2 points. Starting with the one furthest to the left would be down here. And we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. Up 4, over 1. We could say 4 over 1, but that just simplifies down to a slope of 4. And the last one in this section, easy if you have it memorized, but we have a horizontal line, which means we have a slope of 0. And that's it. Okay. Then we have this little section in the middle here. It says write the equation of the line with the given slope and y-intercept in slope-intercept form. So that slope-intercept form we know is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so these are very straightforward, just like what we did in the notes, where you're just plugging in the numbers they give you for your m and for your b. So in this one here, slope of 1/3, y-intercept of -1, I'm going to write y equals mx, so 1/3 x, plus my b. I could put plus a -1, or I could just write -1. And that's typically how you'll see it. So if your y-intercept is negative, just write minus that number. All right. Over here, same thing. So we've got y equals, my slope is -2/5, so I say -2/5 x. Our y-intercept is 0, so I could put plus 0, but you don't need plus 0. That would just be unnecessary information, so I would just leave it like that. Perfect. Okay. And our last one in this section, we would do y equals, now we could say 1x, but we don't need the 1 part of it, so I'm just going to put x. So get used to doing that if your slope is 1. Y-intercept is +8, so I would put +8. And that's it for that section, and that takes us to writing the equation of a line. So there's 6 problems here. They don't tell you to find the slope or the y-intercept, but we know those are the 2 things we have to find in order to write the equation. So maybe off to the side somewhere, put like m equals and b equals, and remember to find those first. So if I find my slope first, I'm going to go from this point to this one. And I'm going to count, let's see, that's going to be down 1, 2, 3, so -3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could say negative 3 over 6, but I also know, oops, just want to erase this, that can simplify. So I'm going to say my m is actually negative 1/2. That's what that would simplify to. And then your b is always the easiest to find. That's just your y-intercept. It's where the line hits your y-axis. So in this case, it's right here, which would be at 1, 2, 3 on the y-axis right here. So my b is 3. So for my final equation, using the negative 1/2 and the 3, I'd say y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. Just like that. All right, number 11, same thing. We'll start from this point because it's furthest to the left and head to this one. Okay, so down here we're going to do our rise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our run would be 1, 2. So 5 over 2. So m equals 5 over 2. And then my b would just be right here, and that's just at 1 on the y-axis. So final equation would be y equals 5 over 2x plus 1. Next one. Okay, let's pick our 2 points. I'm going to start with the one furthest to the left, so that will be this one up here. Now I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down 8, so negative 8 over 2. So I'm going to say my m equals negative 8 over 2, which does simplify down to just negative 4. 8 divided by 2. Okay, and then my b is going to be right here, so let's count and see what that's at. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 5. Okay, b equals negative 5. We have our 2 numbers. Let's write our equation. That's going to be y equals negative 4x minus 5. Perfect. Okay. 3 left here. Number 13. Let's go ahead and find our m, our slope. Let's start from this point and head to this one. So we've got negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down 6, so negative 6, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 6 over 6, that just simplifies to the number negative 1. So there's my m. And my b, it would be right here, which looks like that's just at 2 on the y-axis. Filling that into our equation, we'd get y equals negative 1x, or we could just simplify that and say negative x, because we don't need the 1, plus 2. Oops. Plus 2. Okay, 2 left. This is a short section today. Okay, starting from this one, headed over here, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up 4 would be a positive 4, and over 6. And we know that simplifies down to 2/3. We've done that one before. And then our b would equal, well, it would be this point. So that would be negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Y-intercept of negative 4. Okay, and then filling that in, we get y equals 2/3 x minus 4. And that takes us to our very last one here. So we're going to start at this point and head to this one. So we are going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 6, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 6 over 5. So positive 6 over 5 would be our slope. And our b is right there at the origin, so that would just be at 0. So using those 2 numbers, we'd say y equals 6 over 5x plus 0, but we know we don't need that part, so that would be it. Okay, I'll zoom out here so you can see all the solutions. That one wasn't too bad, hopefully, and we will keep working on writing equations in the next lesson, so I will see you then.